Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I'm not got it together. How's it going? Happy Thursday. Where am I? Oh, I gotta go down. Change the camera. What's going on? What's everybody doing? I can't bend down like that. Hi, I just did a live on Miss Lillian. So we started this gorgeous vanity and it's going to be available soon. I am stoked to like sand the top of it. Does anybody get excited about sanding, or am I the only weirdo? I am the weirdo in the group because the thing about sanding is, especially on a piece that has scratches and gouges, when you get your sander out and you get down that first level, it's like, oh, when you get down there and then this gorgeous wood shows through and you're just like, I knew that was hidden underneath there. It's almost like when somebody has a transformation in their physical appearance, right? You see them one day and then the next day you're like, whoa. It's the same kind of like, wow, I can't believe, so-and-so. That's how I feel with furniture. So I pulled these out of my back room, had them for a hot minute. They're pretty heavy duty. They're not, they look like they're brass, but they're not. They're pretty, like, they're really pretty like this. But they're very dated. They're home decor pieces from, the 80s that everybody had. I just want to give them a little zhuzh, and I have two matching ones. 1, 2. So I thought I would try some crackle. I haven't used crackle in a hot minute. Last time I did it, it didn't work good for me. So I'm going to try it again. I talked to the owner of the company today about what I did wrong. She gave me some hints, and we're going to try again, but I'm going to try with paint only. So when you do a crackle finish, you put whatever color you want the cracks to be down first. So I was thinking I want the cracks to be like dark. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay down some black paint. Can't get any darker than black, right? So I grabbed some of Dixie Belle's Caviar. And I am just going to, let me move my camera again so you can see, add a layer of black paint. Okay, they're not going to end up being black, but the cracks are going to be black. So when you hop on, say hi. Well, let me talk to myself. I started the video and then I realized that YouTube wasn't on there, so I had to go back and restart it, and Instagram wasn't working. So I am live 3 places: YouTube, Instagram, and my YouTube, my Facebook channel. So all of them I am live on right now. Now Facebook will delete this live after 30 days. That's their new policy. But on YouTube, it'll be there forever. That's why I'm glad I started going live on YouTube like a year ago. They'll just be on my channel. So we're just gonna put a quick coat of black. Doesn't gotta be neat. Don't gotta be nuts. How are you guys? How's your weather? Gorgeous here. Finally, we've been waiting so long. Idaho is a beautiful place to live, but let me tell you, it's cold. We don't get a lot of snow where we live, but we don't also get 80-degree days until what's today, May 8th. I mean, we got 70 something yesterday. It's supposed to be 80 today. High 80s, 90 tomorrow. Next couple days. Sunday supposed to be 80 something. Then Monday's like 60. This is what Idaho spring is all about. That's all I got to say. It'll go from like this, and everybody will go and they'll go plant their flowers, and it'll probably still freeze again. I looked at the forecast, it's in the low 40s, like next week at night, and I'm like, my little plants are just going to stay in my greenhouse for another few days because those annuals won't take the crazy drops, right? They don't like it. So they're just fine. I have a greenhouse. One thing I did build it just came up on my memories. It's been 8 years since my husband and I built our greenhouse in our backyard. I collected a bunch of windows. It's before I had any good vintage windows. It was actually before I opened the store. This time, 8 years ago, I was contemplating quitting my corporate job. I hadn't done it yet. It'll be 8 years, like June 6th, that I quit my corporate job and walked away. 8 years. Insane. So we were working on the weekends, right? We had a painting business. He painted houses, and I worked in the corporate world, sales. And I remember I didn't have a good supplier of vintage windows. I had a good supplier now, but I lost it again, so I don't have a good supplier. But anyhow, I went to all the restore stores, and I bought all the weird size windows. And basically, I built a 20 by 30 greenhouse out of windows from homes. Now I could build one out of vintage windows. I have them. But then I didn't know where to get them. They were too expensive, blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, we built it. I should post some pictures when we built it before and after. It withstands all the winds. It withstands if it snows. I mean, it's awesome. We did a good job. We laid it out on the lawn, and then we built the frame around it, and then we stood it up. We stood it up, put the windows in. We didn't know what we do. We're not builders. We're painters. My husband was a house painter. Hammer and nails are not our friends. Paintbrushes, yes. It's in the tone of blood. But, so we didn't know what we were doing. I said, do you think we can do this? He's like, sure. I think we worked like 4 weekends, Saturday and Sunday, and we built it, and it's awesome. So I start my seedlings and all my stuff out there. I started them a little late this year because I had that vintage market show to do. So I was super busy. All my spare time was spent preparing for that. Let's put a coat of black on real quick. But my flowers look great out there. And I got tomatoes and all the things, right? Cucumbers are getting huge. But so many people that live here in our beautiful state get super excited when the sun shines like this and puts everything in the ground. And it's still going to be in the low 40s, so it scares me. Okay, we're going to dry this real quick. Am I not screaming? Okay. I can't see any comments. I know there's multiple people on here, so say hi. This is going to take it. Let's let this dry really quick so we can put the crackle on and see what happens. Crackle was a thing of like the 80s and 90s, right? It was so popular back then. Everybody was crackling. I remember our house when we lived in California, me doing the entire fireplace mantle with crackle. I thought I was pretty cool. I was pretty good at the faux finishes back then. Like people would hire me to do their walls. Remember the faux finish era when you put 2 and 3 colors? It was a blended technique, but you did it with a roller and glaze and all the things. Yeah, I used to do a lot of that on the side. A lot of jobs like that through my husband's paint business. He'd be like, so-and-so saw our living room wall and they want one. I'm like, no. So I'd pick out their colors. I'd pick like 3 or 4 colors. I'd go buy the glaze. On the weekends, I would go finish their house. My mom and dad's house still have the faux finished wall in it. It's not in style anymore, but it was great while it lasted. I made some good money doing that. But anyhow, let's get this dried off really quick. Let's see what my missing is underneath here. What's everybody doing? Having a good day so far? Having fun, enjoying the sunshine. So the Bring Your Own Furniture class this Saturday is full. The vintage window class has like 3 spots left, and that is the 17th of May. And then I just added a class last night, June 20-something, 21st, maybe? Don't quote me. It's on my website. Is the vintage journals with the butterflies. You guys, those journals are so pretty. They're those vintage looking journals with the cool paper in them. Really fun. That one is all skill levels. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to provide you with all the supplies so you can have your own vintage journal that you painted all by your little lonesome, right? I'm going to leave this one over here to dry. This one, I should have got my fan out so I can just put this stuff in front of it. See if I can do this without burning myself. Okay. Sorry, it's loud. Let's go ahead and put some crackle on here. Hi, Ronnie. Always count on you to talk to me. How's life in Massachusetts? So we are using the Posh Chalk crackling gel. So I was talking to Solid Joe, the owner of Would You Ben, who is Posh Chalk, earlier today about the job that I did with my crackle, and it didn't work. I'm probably not going to get to that one. We'll just dry naturally. I don't want to do both of them. Okay. And she gave me some good hints. So we are going to go ahead and use the crackling gel. It's kind of like a snotty kind of, it's like a really thick glue looking stuff. We're just going to paint it on, okay? I'm just using one of my flat brushes. Actually, it is the FA40. I love this brush for these kind of applications. It's called the Flat Angle 40. I use it. This one's dedicated to my top coat, so I only want to use clear coats on it. I shouldn't even be using it for this, because then I don't like to. I want my top coats to not have any other stuff in them, and this is going to have black in it. I have it marked with a thing so it reminds me. But did I pay attention? No. My paint wasn't quite all the way dry. So here you're going to add the crackle on the side. We're going to paint this in some of Dixie Belle's new colors. Have you guys seen them? They have some really beautiful new creamy, dreamy colors out. White, a green, some greens. We're going to be using the whites today. I thought this would be pretty with like various shades of white with like a burlap color in it. Well, I'm just putting this crackling gel all the way. The only thing you guys about doing this live is I have to dry them. And I apologize in advance. I apologize every time I do a live that things have to be dry, but such is life when it comes to live video, right? There's nothing I can do about. And this is way better, to be honest, if you can let these dry naturally. It works better if you can let it dry naturally. But that ain't gonna happen because we'll never get to see the results, right? We're gonna take this, we're gonna dry it. Aren't these beautiful, Ronnie? They really are pretty. I want them to kind of just look chunky, and they look gothic right now with this black on here with the gold showing through. We may stand back a little bit on this so that we get some of this beautifulness to show through. Have anybody on here ever used the crackling gel? Way back in the day, like I said, it was so popular. It was like an 80s, 90s thing. I remember doing my fireplace, my huge, I had a huge fireplace, wooden mantle in our house. We had a 1950s home, and I just needed something, and it really was pretty. That was way back when. So the thicker you put on the crackling gel, the bigger or smaller your cracks are. The thicker you put it on, the thicker your cracks. I should have not painted that one and left the before and after comparison, yeah. This stuff does have to dry. or you can't put, it won't crack. So bear with me. Sorry. I should have done one earlier. I just didn't have time, so I would have had it ready. You did a long time ago, Ronnie? Yeah, like I think we all did. It's kind of like the macrame thing, right? So our macrame artist, Naughty Tawny, does all the macrame here. Everybody comes in and says, "Oh my gosh, I remember when I did that in high school." I'm like, "Yeah, I remember going to summer school actually." I very distinctly remember like 7th and 8th grade. Summer school was not for kids that didn't do well in regular school. Summer school was for fun, right? Remember that? You could sign up for classes. You could go. When I was in junior high, I remember taking a macrame class, a pottery class, things that I never got to do. I loved all the crafty stuff. I totally remember signing up for a macrame class and making some kind of plant hanger and being so proud of myself. Because it was at school, but it wasn't for, like I said, summer school now is for kids that missed school, right, or need help. They don't have fun stuff anymore. Okay, this is drying. It's almost dry, you can tell. But it's still a little tacky up here. We've got to get it all dry or we'll pull it off. And I hope it works, because I got to tell you, by letting stuff dry naturally, it works much better. But I'm always rushing this, and I'm always trying to show you guys new cool techniques, so bear with me. Don't tell me that my thing is annoying. I know it's annoying. I know the sound is annoying. Last time the lady's like, I can't stand the sound of that dryer. I want to say, then don't turn off the volume. What do you want me to flip my fingers and make it like be dry? I don't know how to do that. If I would have had time, I would have planned in advance and did that one, let it dry naturally, and showed you how to do it and then flip to it. But I seriously got off my live with Miss Lillian's at 3:45, walked in my back room, picked this, and said, okay, this is what I'm doing. That's how I plan. I don't plan it days in advance. I'm like, okay, what can I do? Oh yeah, I was talking about crackle earlier. Let's do that. That's how my brain works. Now it's not dry in these cracks and what are these grooves? It may not matter because it's not going to crack in there anyhow. And where I put it on thicker, it's definitely taking longer to dry. So we're going to see if this works. If I ruin it, it's not loud, Ronnie. Thank you. Some people tell me it's so annoying and so loud. I'm like, shut up. Sometimes people bitch about things. Sometimes I just want to say, when's the last time you did a live video and showed people how to do stuff for free? Pretty sure you've never done one. But then I gotta remember that I don't want people to be offended and talk crap, so sorry, it's not dry enough. I want this to look good. I want it to turn out good. I should have put it on thinner. I may only just be able to do the top part. Just right here is where I want it to really dry. But what's for dinner, Ronnie? I got Chinese to go last night. Tonight, okay, I tell you what I'm thinking about making, because I bought all the ingredients and I totally forgot. I'm gonna make a mean pot of jambalaya, your shrimp and sausage, and I crave it, because then the best part about it is like leftovers. Yeah, some people are never happy. Very true. So I think I might make that, even though it's a lot of work, but I'm just like craving it. It's not my husband's favorite, so I try not to make it very much. But I mean, he'll eat anything. But it's just not his favorite. Okay, well, we'll see if that's dry enough. So we have Dixie Belle's, some new colors. But what did you make for dinner, Ronnie? Magnolia. These are all creamy off-whites. Ecru. I'm really loving. I love that they have so many choices in whites besides cotton fluff, sawmill gravy, and drop cloth. They really are different hues, even though they look very similar. They really are different. And I'm going to throw some burlap. Papagino's Pizza. Is that a local pizza place for you guys? And burlap. So all in the same color hue. I'm going to see if I can't brush these on to get the crack-a-lackin' to start. Let's get you closer and lower so you can see it happen. Let's see. That's better. Papagino's Pizza. The pizza that I like, there's a local pizza place here. It's called Garbanzo's. Oh my gosh, they're the best pizza. Pizza's like my Friday night, though. That's what I got. Oh, it's just New England. Okay, it's one of your chains over there. That's what I thought. I was like, we don't have that. I'm going to kind of blend these as I go. The thing about crackle is you don't want to overwork your paint because it starts to crack. And what happens if you overwork your paint, you'll lose the crack. You don't want to lose the crack. So I'm just kind of dipping a little bit and just trying to add the burlap with ecru and the magnolia all together. It looks cool already, right? I'm painting upside down too, so. Oh, it's not all the way dry on the side. Oh well. Let's see what happens. Maybe I can't do that one because it's still wet. Let's do this bottom part. These are pretty colors. They're pretty just like this. I really didn't have to add the crackle, right? It just looks totally antique. Still a little wet on this side. Yeah, with crackle, you can't manipulate your paint a lot because if you do, it'll start to crack and you'll basically fill in the cracks because it'll start to activate. I'm looking at it upside down. I gotta go on this side. That's actually really pretty just like that. Even if the crackle doesn't work, who cares? Because wow, that's really gorgeous. Because the black showing through, wow. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. That's pretty. That would be pretty at anybody's house. And I'll have a matching pair, a coordinating pair. Not necessarily say they're going to match, but I'm definitely going to coordinate. Okay. Now, let's see what happens. The crack. Oh yeah, quick. I don't know if you can see it. The heat really does make it crack fast. I do have this in stock. The crackling gel by Posh Chalk. It's on my website. I also do have it if you want to stop in. It's not that expensive. And I like the way it works. It works really cool. The cracks are a little bit smaller. Sometimes cracks are like really long and big. To me, these cracks are smaller, so they make it look more natural, right? Because we would want this to crack because it's like an old piece. Oh, wow. Here. Look at that. Can you see it cracking? It kind of cracks right before your eyes. Before my eyes, at least. It's hard to see probably on your telephone or not my phone, it's the camera. The heat really does help it crack. That's cool. So then you get this really subtle look You don't want it to look like you forced it crack, right? You want it to just be subtle. These probably are, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall. And they will continue to crack the more they dry. Like down here, it's kind of like really thick and wet, but it will continue to crack or bubble the paint if you get too close with the heat gun. Okay, so let's check this out. Let me bring it up close. And you see the, whoa, it's still wet on the bottom. See the cracks? They're super fine, but they're enough to give us that old world look, like old stone that's been cracking and cracking and just, and to be honest, if I probably hadn't forced the first coat of crackle, but you're watching on TV, you're smart. Oh, come on. Yeah, then you can see it, but on your phone, maybe not so much. So watch me on your TV. But yeah, it's crazy, right? It gives it that old world look. So they're, I don't know how tall they are. They're pretty dang tall. Let me turn it upside down before I read it. They're a couple feet tall. I get a tape measure actually. Now I'm one. I've had them in my back room. I got them at an estate sale probably last summer, and I didn't have any ideas on what to do with them. So the great thing is that they're a matching set. They're 22 inches. They're almost 2 foot. Right? Aren't they beautiful? I didn't do the top, but we'll put crackle on that too. But yeah, very pretty, right? Very old world. Kind of just looks like old plaster. These will look great at anybody's home. So I'll finish the other one and they will be for sale. Yeah, very realistic, right? Very realistic. Very realistic, old world, cool. And with the different hues of paint, just kind of gives it that worn look, especially with the black underneath. The black underneath just helps to even bring out the texture that's on the piece naturally. And give us, here's where it was not when we started. This is one coat of black paint. Right, so pretty. Hey, you guys, thanks for watching. Wow, I really love these. These are so pretty. I'll get these done. I'll get them in the store because I know somebody's going to want them. I will tell you that most things that I do on Thrifty Thursdays sell within a week of me finishing them. So if you do like them, reach out. And I will have how much I get to finish them. I got to remember how much I paid for them. They weren't cheap because they're really high end. The estate sale that I shot these at had lots of high end home decor. Lots. But anyhow. Okay, you guys. Well, thanks so much. Hey, don't forget the store is open 10 to 5, Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturdays. Don't forget to shop here. Because guess what? If you don't shop here, we won't be here. And that's God's truth. I'm not fooling anymore. I can't keep doing this on no money. Doesn't work. All right, you guys. Well, let me know if you have questions. My name is Debbie Tona. We're at Tona Transformations, 1407 2nd Street South in Nampa. And you guys go out and be fabulous. Go have dinner. Go outside and enjoy this gorgeous weather. And we will see you again soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.